My mom, Terry, is trying to control my life and my marriage.
I don't care for my son-in-law, Greg. Greg's really just tearing our family apart.
Terry is trying to make me out to be a monster. I think she wants me completely out of the picture.
Greg has called me a bitch, crazy and bipolar. I don't think I've ever called him any names.
Terry has called me a worthless piece of scum of the earth.
And the problem started when Greg and I moved in together.
Terry agreed to come and watch the boys while Amy and I went on our honeymoon. But when we came home, Jordan stated to us, his Mimi had told him that he could call her mommy and that he could come live with her anytime that he wanted to. And that if I ever popped his butt for doing anything wrong, to call her and she'd take care of it.
Jordan says Greg whips his ass every morning. Greg yells at him and cuts him down.
Terry thinks I'm beating Jordan. When I say that I'm popping Jordan's butt, this would be his butt. This is my hand. It's stern enough that he feels it, but it's not to the point where it's a violent abuse as she makes it out to be.
My mom accused Greg of putting a diaper on Jordan, who was 4, and taking him to school like that. Jordan came to me and told me that he just told Mimi that because that's what she wanted to hear.
I've raised 3 children. I know when a child's lying to me. I don't think that Jordan's lying.
I basically gave her an ultimatum. If my mom was going to continue to ask Jordan questions and badgering him for information that is not true, she would not be allowed to come over.
Terry is not allowed in our house anymore. If she ever sees the kids, it's supervised. I don't want her near me to make up stories because she's very good at making them up.
Greg's trying to get Amy to choose between her family and him.
One big bone of contention is this incident that Terry says caused her to call CPS. This took place on the day we're talking about in question here. Take a look.
This past summer, my mom and my sister both came to the house to see Jordan. My mom and Brittany started whispering, and I asked them nicely just to not whisper.
Amy comes in the living room, and she says, they're sitting back there whispering about me. Now I want them to leave.
She just starts screaming at us in front of the kids, cussing.
And I picked Jordan up, and I hugged him, and I kissed him. When I did that, Amy came over, and she grabbed my arms.
I was not sure if she was going to try to kidnap him, so I put my hand on my mom's shoulder.
Amy said, you need to put my son down, and you need to leave my house.
So Amy goes over there, and she grabs Jordan. He's latched onto Mom, and she pulls him so hard. They all go, like, just across the room.
I was not trying to take Jordan. The only thing that I was doing was picking him up and giving him a hug.
At that time, my sister was standing behind me, was coming to reach towards me. Greg, my husband, put his arm up to block her from hurting me.
Greg comes running from across the room, and he pulls up his fist. And I flinched, and it scared me.
I came across my arm, just like this, not trying to hurt her, just trying to stop her.
Greg picks up the phone and calls the cops. When they know that the cops are on the way, they leave.
Maybe a week later, Amy called me, and she said, I know that you called Child Protective Services on us.
My mother, Terry, was the one that called Child Services on me and filled out a report.
As a grandmother, what I'm wanting to do is just protect Jordan.
This is your sister Brittany, right?
It is.
Brittany, hi, how are you? Come on up and join us if you would. How are you? You think you're going to get out of the crossfire down there, but what do you think about all of this?
We were all in Jordan's room playing with Jordan and Jackson, and Mom and I were not, we were not talking about Amy. And I know that she may have thought that, but we weren't whispering at all. And she just says, stop whispering, and don't talk about me. I hear you talking about me. But we never said anything about her. We were playing with Jordan and Jackson, and she was right there. And then it just, she starts yelling, and then it was so much tension, and it was all in front of the boys, and there was cussing in front of the boys, and we were just, you know, Jordan was crying. I was like, Mom, let's go. And
come on, were y'all raised by wolves? I mean, come on, y'all know better than this, right? You're actually having a physical fight with the baby in your mother's arms because you thought she was going to kidnap the baby. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.